Wonderful. Hey, everyone. Hey, bakers. Welcome to this live transparency report, Q4. We're going to discuss, we're going to review Q4 2020. It was one of the most amazing quarters we had at Cake. We published a transparency report for that. It's going to be linked up down below as well. And it was a heck of a quarter. Really, really exciting. And we're going to give you a preview of Q1. And you're not going to want to miss this. So come in, drop us a quick line in the chat where you're coming in from. I can see hello from the Philippines. Hey, Iron Chaw. Hey, Leon. Jeff. Hey, Fabio. Hey, Ewald. U-Zyn is also chatting, even though he's live with me on the channel. Crypto is here. Maximilian is here. Cool. Martin is here. Great. Nice community. So yeah, do us a favor, drop us a line, and then click the like button, the upvote button. This really helps the algorithm. And then, without much further ado, let's dive right in. I will get U-Zyn on first and share maybe as a rough overview. How was Q4 from your side? You're leading anything product tech that is for the entire team. U-Zyn, if you had to review just one thing for Q4, what was the personal highlight before we're gonna go a bit into the details?
Personal highlight, I would think the rollout of liquidity mining at Cake. So it's a tight timeline for us to roll out liquidity mining, and the whole team comes together and really make it work from the design side, from the UI side, from the back end to the front end engineers, and everyone just come on board and just put in all the work that we can, and that's also in the month of November and December, where some of the team members are kind of like in holiday mode, but then everyone's still putting all the crazy work to make sure that this happens right before the holiday starts. So they're also really, really proud moment when we managed to pull it off. And thanks for everyone for the support as well. We can see that everyone loves the product, and we can see a lot of growth there. Thanks. That's a highlight for me.
If you look back the entire 2020, I mean, I can still remember a year ago, obviously, COVID was a topic actually a year ago, because Singapore got hit during Chinese New Year, which was quite early last year. So we definitely saw that. Remembering a year ago, completely different, different kind of company, different kind of team. Man, we grew so much. If you look back 2020, what's kind of give us a bit of the thought process from your side on what's been happening, if you look at the entire last year.
Yeah, I think last year was really, really massive growth. If you ask me, would it be like where we're at right now? In the beginning of last year, I would not have believed so. I would wish so, but I would not have believed that we could pull it off. But I mean, like, we really grew out of expectation, and not only for everyone. I mean, it comes with all the teams work there. Everyone put in a lot of work. Everyone put a lot of ideas, and the community as well. Putting a lot of ideas and always give us good feedback and support. I think that's all really, really important, and that helps our growth so much more. That's really, really massive growth. And this year, I think we're going to grow even bigger. So we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, and the numbers are going to be way bigger. So that's it's always a difference to go from small to like solid, or to go from solid to large. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Cool. U-Zyn, I'll have you back in a bit, especially when we talk about Q1 and 2021. The person I want to get on is the lead for everything related to Cake tech and product. Ben, glad to have you back on the transparency report here. You've actually been with us now for 1.5 years. So you've seen, I still remember, when you joined and you came from Switzerland to Singapore, and we didn't have much other than a few promises that we might make it. We didn't have any guarantees. Funding was tight. It's been a crazy ride. How has it, like, looking back maybe really over the entire Cake career, the last 1.5 years? What kind of sticks out for you?
Hey, thanks for having me again. Yeah, I still remember that as well. Actually, there's been a lot of people, or some people who told me, don't go, such a risk, and you really don't know what's gonna be there, and it's a new company, and but I'm really glad I took the step, and yeah, it's so far it's really the best decision in my life. Totally.
Man, this was a real leap of faith, I have to admit, because I still remember, I mean, we didn't have much other than a few promises and a few crazy ideas. The substance was definitely not there. And I can still remember when Ben was like, so what is the team like? And I said, yeah, everything is super solid. And he came in and Ben was like, fuck, I need to clean up everything here. Like, we need to structure everything. Until you were here, it was like, yeah, wow, everyone was working on everything. And yeah, and then you really started cleaning up. So that was super exciting.
Totally, yeah. The team changed as well quite a bit. Always improving, getting new talents on, and yeah. I mean, I have to say, at the moment the team is so good. I'll give some more details later in yeah, when we talk about the product.
Cool. Do you want to share a bit of the highlights for you? Obviously Q4. Yeah, and yeah, what stood out for you?
Of course. I looked at the Q3 report and looked at what we planned, and we didn't really do anything. We planned not anything, but we planned a lot of stuff, and then totally like liquidity mining hit us. I mean, it was a great experience, but there are also some points we didn't achieve. We planned back in Q3, right? So, for example, we still have this in our roadmap on the Cake DeFi website, Cake 2.0, right? The whole Cake revamping. We want to move to cake.defi.com domain. It's still a pool.cakedefi.com domain, but yeah, it should follow next or this quarter actually.
What's the challenge actually?
So it's actually a bit of a technical challenge because we want to have the pool still integrated in the site as an app. It's kind of it's totally an app, right? You send something to the server, you get a lot of response there. But then we also want to have some pages that are non-responsive. For example, our current, when you go to cakedefi.com, our current website, the front, we want to have this a bit static, that it loads very quickly, right? So users are not like, why is this application loading for so long? Then for other team members that they have a bit more dynamic content, right? Because putting content onto Cake itself is it always requires a lot of technical efforts, actually. Yeah, that's like one of the main challenges. Cool. But then again, we planned a lot of these revamp things, and we achieved quite a lot. So we have this new staking page. If you can remember, back in Q3, you did all your staking, everything you did in staking, you did on the balances page with these buttons. And it totally didn't make sense from a user experience, right? Because there's like Lapis, which has its own page. And then there's the balances page, which is kind of also staking and also a bit of everything. So yeah, we really managed to separate these things out and have a new balances page now, which is still work in progress. There's still not everything listed there and how it should be. But yeah, it's an ongoing
I think it's a lot cleaner now with the buttons on top also. I mean, I know that we need to improve, and user experience is going to be a key thing, but I think now it's starting to clean up a bit with the staking and then the lending and the liquidity mining. And so I think it's clearing up.
Correct. I mean, there's a lot of small things missing that we really have to do this quarter. For example, the balances page right now is still split into coin and then staking, and it doesn't really make sense anymore. So it should just be like one balance. What does the user hold, right? And the liquidity mining funds, they don't even show up. So yeah, all of these burning issues we have to address soon. Yeah, and then we actually planned for Q4 as well, the entire KYC revamp. So the customer onboarding experience when they come to the site, that they have a smooth transition to a working account where they can actually deposit and withdraw, right? So definitely a goal for this quarter, and we're really quite far already. So hopefully get a first version out soon. Yeah, it doesn't really affect the current users, but it's still very important for acquiring new users and giving them a really good experience from the get-go, right? Yeah. And then these graphs and assets that we showed last quarter, it's a lot of effort and planned for Q1. Let's see. It's a lot of data we have to like crunch and make it very performant to display on the website for the user. Let's see. I mean, everything we planned kind of was a bit delayed because of the big topic we had for the quarter, which is liquidity mining, right? Massive thanks to Dennis and Chi and Trung, who put in a lot of extra hours to make this work like on time, on the deadline, with some iterations, right? We also had to iterate over the product, and we're still iterating over the product. It's still not finished. We still get a lot of user feedbacks what we can improve, and we try to implement these as fast as possible, of course. But
what do you think, looking back, what do you think was the biggest challenge you guys had on the liquidity mining?
So I think from a very, very technical point of view only, bringing a very, very decentralized product to a platform like Cake, where the user kind of doesn't want to wait for a transaction to be mined, or and making everything very smooth for the user, right? They can deposit like Bitcoin like normally and acquire DeFi, and with like as little as possible clicks, get them into a pool and working, right? It's a different experience from DeFi Chain app because personally I still use the DeFi Chain app because I like the decentralized part. But for Cake users, I think they really value the ease of use, and you click. You can even do it on mobile at the moment, right? We don't have an app yet, but you could technically take your mobile out.
Phone.
And then go into liquidity mining.
Yeah, may I add a bit as well on that? Like I think on the liquidity mining, one of the key challenges is on the security part. Like we need things to be fast to happen immediately, and yet we can't have everything linked to the back end, because that will mean that your fund is going to be exposed to the internet. So we have to make sure that there's some separation from the API part that's hitting the most of the funds. So most of the funds is in a cold wallet that can be completely shielded off from the web facing front, to make sure that the funds are safe. So we only have a small portion of the fund that's facing the website. That's for the float, where you handle like the small amount that comes in now and then the withdrawal and all that. But most of it is sitting on a cold server that's not facing any of the internet part. So that's where the most difficult part, at least on the back end. I'm sure the front end there's a lot of challenges as well, but I'm glad that the whole team pulled it off.
Perfect. Then some, as you mentioned, some front-end challenges. Of course, is on DeFi chain, usually you attract the users that are experienced, that are willing to set up their own node on their computers. And for Cake, it's a lot of users who have heard the term for the first time, right? What is liquidity mining? And to give them an experience that makes sense to them. Okay, I have to put in equal amounts of both in the same like fiat value terms, and we have this DEX exchange stability bar now that gives.
Can you explain that? Because I still remember that was like a big that was I think a very important implementation also from the team, and brought a lot of certainty for the users so that they could feel easier on the impermanent loss kind of idea.
Correct. So the problem is, as U-Zyn already described, it's not an instant transaction when you or when we acquire shares on DeFi chain side, because on chain we still have to get the shares, right, for the user, but we kind of have make this either delayed, or we buy them afterwards, right? For this, we had to put in some measures. So users or we are on the safe side, users on the safe side, that when the pool is imbalanced, that there's no like loss, because the pool would correct itself, and then shares would be less worth than they could have been, right? So it's a very unique challenge for our architecture of the product. but I think with this bar, yeah, users are happy and much more confident to enter the product, I think.
Yeah, so add a little bit on that. I think we are also trying to stay true to Cake DeFi's ideology there, that we want to keep things transparent to the user. So if we compare it to the other sites that offer liquidity mining, a lot of them take the easy way out by just setting a flat fee, a flat return to the user without actually taking on what's happening on the actual blockchain side. So what they do is sometimes they would get like 150% and they give you 40%, all of that. So the margin there is a safe barrier on how much loss, impermanent loss, or any issues that they might incur. So that's a huge margin. So with that, anyone can take on impermanent loss. But for us, we're trying to stay true to our philosophy that we want to be transparent. We want to take only 15% fee. So that brings in a ton of challenges to our side. We want to make sure that we try to stay as close as possible to the blockchain. We want to charge only 15% fee. And yet we want to keep the funds secure and safe and offline. So that's all the challenges that it brings. So I think the team really comes all together and come up with a good solution that we have so far. I think we're one of the best liquidity mining experience, and in terms of balance between security and user understanding of the product, and also staying true to the value that you're going to get on the blockchain. So you're only paying 15% fee and nothing more. Unlike most exchanges where they kind of steal that away from you.
Yeah, I think that's an important part to mention here as well. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. Liquidity mining, I think also for the community, was a major thing, obviously a major driver. Brought us so many users on Cake, obviously a lot of revenue, a lot of assets under management. Yeah, it's been absolutely insane and fantastic, and the team did a really good job there. Yeah. Ben, anything on like any other highlights for you for Q4? I know that there's still a couple more.
Of course, just to add on that, actually the really transparent feature we haven't even launched yet for liquidity mining. We are saving all the rewards in the database with the transaction IDs. So it was the idea to also publish this to the user, and so similar to what you could do in staking, see the actual rewards and see what are we actually accumulating and paying out to the users, right?
That's cool. I didn't even know that this was on the roadmap. I didn't know that. Ah, that's cool. Okay, great.
Yeah,
that's actually really exciting. Yeah,
we have the numbers. Why not show them, right? I mean, we don't have anything to hide, right? Cool. And then there's a couple of other smaller things. Of course, we're still ongoing effort to improve UX on all sides. For example, the dialogues. They got a bit out of fashion. We spiked them a bit up. And then end of year, I think also very important for user growth was the new deposit bonus. Yeah. Not too difficult for tech side, but the challenge there was definitely for support and the tech team that does the admin side of things, because we had so many new users. KYC was a big topic for the last weeks and the first weeks of the year.
Especially over Christmas. I mean, we launched this like at the week before Christmas, and then like we were like, yeah, let's take the holidays a bit slower. Whoa, every day, like thousands of signups. It was just insane.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? You go on your Christmas holidays, okay. Do not that much, but you refer your friends. You tell them you're liquidity mining on Cake with like 300% APY. Why wouldn't you refer anybody, right? Yeah. And then special shout out to Fabrizio, Ying, who doing support and operations there, definitely, and Steven and Jimmy, who handle all the changes for actually this team to keep the site stable, and it's actually one of the key teams I think over the holidays who kept the site running as well.
Yeah, and especially poor Alvin, who was like, who really had to kind of keep the KYC side going. This is just insane. Like, we got him in. He's like, hey, holidays, you can take it a bit slower. And suddenly you're like, no, sorry, dude, like you need to work over hours. It was just overwhelming, but I mean, positive.
That's mostly from tech side. a really great quarter. Yeah, looking forward to the next one.
I think one thing that you didn't mention was the 50% discount for the VIP program, right? We updated there as well.
Sure. Can also talk a little bit like that. I didn't plan to mention it because it only affects a certain amount of users. But yeah, sure. We have to mention, definitely. You're right. So we gave the users, or we planned to have the feature that you can swap your DeFi back to Bitcoin for a 50% discount, Bitcoin or Ether. And that's for the master bakers. Yeah, very, very quick implementation from Dennis and Chi. It was, I mean, basically, we had the designs. We knew what needs to be done, and these two guys just, yeah, they coded it down in, I think, less than a week. Yeah, really, really smooth job there.
Really, really fast and super lean, great execution. Yeah. If you had to like pick out one thing that was like maybe the highlight, what were you most impressed with in the team? What was a step where you're like, wow, you know, like this is where the team got together, or yeah.
For the tech team, I think at the moment we have a team that really sees or sees what the users' pain points are and try to improve them. Then all of them, they give a small little feedback. Can we do this? Can we improve that? And that's super, super valuable because we have it from both sides, right? The users tell us things we can improve. The tech team tells, or brings up things that we can improve. Yeah, so really smooth experience for like product management in a whole. And definitely ownership. Ownership is one of our important team values, and all the tech team, they show massive ownership, and yeah, it's a great experience to work with them.
Yeah, cool. No, definitely great work from everyone. So yeah, that was outstanding. And then look, at the end, marketing and community can only do such a fantastic job because the product is there. So yeah, it was definitely great. And yeah, I love the interaction also. I know that many of you have the interaction on Telegram with our users. I think that's fantastic. And being this close helps solving problems. So really, really cool. Great. I would say let's switch a bit gears, look a bit into Q1, what's coming up. And U-Zyn, I would get you in for this. Share a bit on what are kind of the highlights? What are the things that you guys have sketched out a bit together?
Yes, so the major thing on Q1, I think some of you already seen the YouTube video on that. The major thing for us is on UX. So UX is very, very key for Q1. With all the rapid launches and all the rapid growth that we have, we want to make sure that the UX improves to make it even more user friendly, especially for new users who are new to crypto. That I think our current site is kind of like okay for people who are used to crypto, but for new users, I think they still need a bit of help there. So we are really focusing on UI and UX, and we are growing the team. Ian is leading the team there. He's doing a great job, and he's growing his team to get more UI and UX people in there so that we can have even a cleaner site and better experience for all our users so that they can really understand how to navigate around the site and how each of the products work, especially for new users who are new to crypto. And on top of that, one of the top requests by the community, I think since we first launched in 2019, I think people have been asking about that all the time, like mobile app. So when is mobile app coming? So yes, this quarter is the quarter that mobile app is coming for real. Yeah, so we have a team that's already started work on mobile app. I think we're all really excited about that. That's something I really look forward to. So, yeah, that's another team that we have now at Cake. So we have Ben's like front end and back end team now another team on mobile app. So more and more product that we have to maintain just to make it more user friendly and more accessible to everyone. Yes, and another thing is with the approval of DeFi chain to start Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash liquidity mining. So on the Cake side, we're going to bring the integration with the Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash liquidity mining from the DeFi chain side over to the Cake side. This will open up our reach to a bit more crypto users, especially on the Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash users. I think they are probably missing out quite a bit on the DeFi side of things because most of the DeFi stuff happening on Ethereum side. So opening up to Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash is gonna really reach out to some of these crypto users who are probably missing out a lot on the DeFi action. So that will be really interesting for us. And for me, I'm looking forward to the massive team growth that we are looking into in Q1. We are looking to hire about 12 to 15 new team members, and most of them are going to be on the product and engineering side. And we have assigned a lot of them already, actually. So a lot of them started work already, and a lot of them still in the pipeline. So we are actually doubling our team. We have more products and more features, and also want to improve on the existing UX as well. So we need more team members there, and we have hired quite a few, but we're not done yet. So we're still looking to hire. So if you are a JS developer, JavaScript developer, if you are a C++ developer, apply to our team. I would love to talk to you about that. And with the team growth, I think we have a bit more structure now. Like previously, we were a small team. Everyone, it's very big on ownership. I mean, that's all good. That's still really, really important. But with the team growth, we're gonna get more structured. Everyone's gonna be able to focus a bit more on what they specialize in. I think you can see a lot of the major improvement on Cake DeFi to come this year. And one of the key things as well on the SysOps side, we have a SysOps team as well. And one of the key things that they are tasked to do is to ensure the security of your fund and of all our services. So we want to make sure high availability on Cake, make sure that all the endpoints are secured properly and done properly for the safety of your fund. So that's very, very important to us. So yeah, I think that's a overall preview for Q1.
If you have one thing, U-Zyn, that you're looking for the most, and I'm sure, I mean, we're always working on things that gonna come in left and right. So these are just basically kind of the sure things that are coming up. But from all the things that you mentioned just right now, what are the things you're probably looking forward to the most?
I would think the UX is what I'm really looking forward to. Like really able to tell my friends and my relatives, check out Cake DeFi, and they're able to just get on and use it on their own. A bit unfortunate that I have not been able to do that, because once I tell them, they'll get on there and sometimes they'll get lost because they are new to crypto. So for people who are new to crypto, our side is still it takes a bit more challenge to get used to it. So once you have a good UI and a good UX there, I hope that we will achieve the goal that we tell any user on the street, check out Cake DeFi, they go there and they'll understand how to use it. So that's the goal that we want to achieve. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think really I really hope at the end of this quarter, the user experience I think it will never stop improving, right? But I hope by the end of this quarter, it's really cleaned up, and it's so much more self-explanatory and simpler and easier. I look at so many platforms out there. God, they get so complicated the longer and the older they get. And I really hope that Cake goes the other way. It gets simpler and simpler and simpler the older we get. Yeah, I think they just start stacking on so many things, and then it just gets really confusing. Yeah. Cool. If there's any questions, then please let me know in the chat. At the same time, I think, Ben, you also have a bit of a preview that you want to show on a topic that especially our German users always ask for, or German, Austrian users, not the Swiss ones, but German, Austrian. You want to share a bit of a preview?
Of course, yeah. Personally, also doesn't affect me too much as I live in Singapore, but
and you're Swiss, so it doesn't affect you much in Switzerland either.
Correct. But it's a very, very big topic because it's a big topic for the users, so it's a big topic for Cake, right? So let me share my screen here, and that's going to be taxes. So especially this month, January, we already worked a lot on this it's taxes, right? Germans are getting nervous. Other countries also get nervous because everybody needs to file the taxes, right? And our current solution just wasn't enough anymore. So we had this CSV export, where you can list all your transactions from the beginning for all coins, but it just didn't suit the needs of the users anymore. So just a quick reminder on what we do with this CSV export. We already have a US dollar evaluation there for every transaction. In the future, users can generate their CSV export on certain timestamps, for example, 1st of January to 31st of December. It's really important for these yearly taxes. And then a little bit later, also having all the coins, or not coins, all the currencies we list on Cake as well, like Swiss francs, euro, Canadian dollar, all the preferred currencies we have in Cake, also having, available on the CSV export as a currency. That's just a CSV export, and it's going to be like the key to taxes for some people, because with taxes you probably cannot satisfy everybody, and the CSV export is still the tool. If you have special needs, you can get everything out there and calculate your own numbers, whatever you need. But to make it as easy as possible for most users as possible, we have this tax report in form of a PDF here, and this is going to launch relatively soon. We aim for next week, and you can say you want it for a year, for example. Here's a bit longer report. It's just like a mock kind, and there's already been a lot of user feedback going into this. From like core users that had good ideas what we can include here, but it's really an ongoing effort. If you think something is missing, then please write to support and tell us, because we really want to satisfy as much people and countries as possible, right? So we created a mock report here for certain currency. Here is Swiss francs. We have list all the important information about the company and to your person. And then we have a very broad summaries. Probably for some countries, it might be the only number they care about as the net profit of everything they made on Cake, right? On this timestamp, for example, a year in their preferred currency. And this is going to be the most accurate number we can get, because it's actually from the transaction, from the minute that the transaction was created, like the US dollar or the Swiss franc representation here, on the transaction, summed up in one number. And this is not going to satisfy everybody, right? So we also split it in different topics. So some people might need to file taxes differently for like our Lapis product. Some need to pay different taxes on staking, and also for liquidity mining. And we also try to include everything users got on Cake over the year. So there's also all the referral bonus in here, all the airdrops the users received also in this file here, and everything they did on CoinSwap as well. For some people also taxable event, right? So if there's anything missing here, please tell us, and we include it as soon as possible. That's the first. It's going to be the first base version, right? And we at Cake, we try to bring the product out and then iterate over it, right? So next step is going to be a report by day. So we know our German users need a list of every product on every day, what the daily profit was. So we're also going to include that in a later step. And we also already received feedback from Dutch and Swedish users who say they need the total funds from beginning of the year and end of the year they have on Cake. So yeah, stuff like this we will include in the future. So yeah, bear with us. It's really an ongoing product. Yeah.
Very nice. It's the first time I see this as well. So cool. Yeah, looks really good. And some people will obviously have like dozens of pages here, probably, right? I mean, it must be a super long report for some people.
Definitely. I mean, we try to keep the summary relatively short, right? So the stuff you need is here, and it's also good to see all the numbers accumulated. And then report by day, this could be quite lengthy, right? For every coin you used every day of, for example, a year, and for all products used. So yeah, this could be quite lengthy. Yeah. So there's already ideas to maybe exclude that from the PDF if the user wishes. So yeah.
Very nice. Cool. Looking forward to that. Thanks, Ben.
Cool.
That sound looks really cool.
Yeah.
Great. I would love to finish with you, U-Zyn. Maybe 2021. Yeah, what's the one thing that you're looking forward to the most for 2021 as a bigger picture, maybe to zoom out of Q1?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we have been talking about quite a bit is the decentralized stocks on DeFi chain. So Cake obviously is going to be a close partner to DeFi chain, so we're going to integrate very closely with DeFi chain to bring that as well to our users on Cake. I think that would be really really huge, where it's gonna be really easy for our users to use, and it should be easy to understand. So you can kind of like trade all the stocks that you want, or the major stocks that you want, and knowing confidently that they are backed by actual cryptocurrency that will guarantee the price of your trade. So I think that would be huge for us. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. And the team is that team, they are really working on that, on the research side and on the product design side as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, cool, everyone. I really appreciate everyone supporting, coming in, obviously using all our services, using some of our services. Some of you having been with us since the very beginning 1.5 years ago. Some of you only joining, in the last quarter. And we want to do those transparency reports on a regular basis, share a bit on what's been happening, what are the plans to hopefully give you a very transparent insight on, what's going on in and around the company. And obviously, as always, if you are seeing any of the job openings, especially on the JavaScript side for Cake, then please send us a message, reach out. And we're always looking for skilled, talented people. I tell you, we're a fun team, and we're working on challenging problems, and it's very gratifying. So it's been a fantastic ride so far. Cool. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to share. We mentioned everything in the report. U-Zyn and Ben, let me go into the gallery view so that all three of us are on the picture. I really appreciate it. It's been an amazing ride. It's unbelievable to see this, and 2021 is going to be a great year. It's I'm very much looking forward, and thanks for doing those reports, those transparency reports for the community. I know they appreciate it, and it's really cool. So thanks so much, and looking forward to doing this next quarter as well. Cool. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.